I first met David when he came to West Georgia, and the teacher was calling out the names of the students enrolled in class. And when the teacher got to the letter G, he sort of stopped and stumbled. And I noticed somebody laughing over to one side. And as you might expect, I heard the word Gamidanus, and David was pronouncing his name, and we all got a kick out of that. I think probably David had done that before. Later, I began to notice that this guy is so well liked. I thought, I believe I'll ask him to room with me the next term. Happily, he agreed. Then later, when we were both accepted to Georgia, he asked to room with me as we started pharmacy school, and of course I was delighted. You see, in junior college, I'd lost my brother, and David, you could say, stepped into that role for me. Like this, things a brother would say to you, like he once told me, don't let that guy borrow your car. And when a fellow student wanted to take us on a joyride one night, David said to me, don't get in that car. David and I were close for 2 years. We were in the same classes. We probably dressed alike. We ate together. And funny thing, once he told me he had a nightmare. And guess what? The next night I had the same one. But there was nobody like David. Some here may not have seen him lose his temper, but I did. There was a student in the stand bullying another student. And David let him know in no uncertain terms to cut that out. David wasn't the biggest guy, but he was quick and he was ambidextrous. So I guess that bully didn't want to get it on both sides of his head. You would think that we studied together, but mostly I was in the library. And David, I think, mostly was playing basketball, except during finals when we both played cards. It was hard to beat David at anything. To say he was competitive would be an understatement. Yes, I was jealous that David had such a sharp mind that he rarely wrote down class notes, whereas I spent hours rewriting mine. This impressed me to such an extent that I was determined to raise my kids hoping they would pick up good memory skills like that. After our first year at Georgia, I got into some mischief with our landlady, and she kicked us out. No problem, no setback for David. He called me to say that he got us another house. David had a passion for his profession and was responsible for a lot of us becoming active in our professional organization. I saw him receive the Pharmacy of the Year award for his district. David was in my wedding. Afterward, I moved to married housing, of course, and didn't see him as much. And then later, of course, I retired to South Carolina, but I still enjoyed his comments on my Facebook pictures that I posted sometimes. I had met his parents, and his brother-in-law was once my coach in high school. David was the kind of friend that once invited my fiance and I to dinner downtown, and he paid the bill. He was more than a friend. David was a big part of my life.